I'm Santuan,
I'm Antoine.
and we the Connected Experience. Dog,
Bro,
what's
what
Connected Experience?
is a lifestyle?
Our lifestyle.
The lifestyle. How that
How that
lifestyle treat
lifestyle
you?
been treating you? Man, it's been treating me all right, man. Today we got the opportunity to speak with a certified legend in the game, man. So that's great for the lifestyle. What about you?
Oh man, I can't complain, man. We've been on a hell of a run. This just adding to the run, man. So you got a word of the episode?
Yeah, man. I got Showman, a person who acts intermediately between the natural and supernatural worlds using magic to cure illness, fortune tell, and control spiritual forces. What's your word?
Contrep. That's a magic spell, some and sorcery.
So who we got on the show today, bro?
Oh man, we got Fiend, Mr. International Jones, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Man, what in the hell superpower natural shit is y'all talking about? Man, y'all got somebody with a Ouija board over there trying to kill ingrown toenails, bro.
No, we just give words to the episode, man. Just words that people not used to hear, or they might hear them and not know what they is, man.
It's all good, man. It's a former stripper, man, turned rapper. Your man, Fiend International Jones, man. You might have seen me on tour. You know what I'm saying? Gray sweatpants mafia. You know what I'm saying? We was out here doing our thing for all the extra chunky ladies out there, big girls, baby. You know, I'm here on with the connected boys. We over here talking strictly for y'all, ladies. You're over there over 150 pounds and you want to go down. We here, love. You heard me? Three players here for your pleasure. You heard me?
Yeah, man. So it's a pleasure to have you, man. So what we do on the Connected Experience, this is a worldwide show. So we just go get your story from the very beginning, like because we've been huge fans and we've been following you for so long. So we want you to be
Dope.
able to tell your story in your own words. So talk about growing up in the 17th ward in Holly Grove and what that was like when you was coming up.
Growing up in Holly Grove, 17. To me, it was especially your neighborhood is big and a whole lot of things going on, especially when you don't know nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I remember I could walk out my house. I grew up in a shotgun house, 8827 Edinburgh Street. I grew up 4 houses away from where bounce music was invented.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly across the street from my house was my dad's barroom. You know what I'm saying? It kind of was like my grandmother's barroom, and he ran it. You heard me? He was a mixologist, and the name of the spot was called Mars Lounge. You know what I'm saying? And my grandmother owned about half the block, about half the properties on the block. So immediately on top of the barroom was my aunt's house, and immediately to the left was my grandmother's house, and immediately to the right was my aunt Ursula. Next door is my aunt Diane. You know what I'm saying? And so forth like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. You know, I had a pretty good upbringing until, as you get older, things happen. You know, vices, addictions, and things like that happen within the family. But I never forget coming out the house. I could walk maybe 3 blocks to the right, and I can get to Conrad Park. You know what I'm saying? And if I come out the house and walk maybe 6 blocks, 7 blocks, I can get to Larry Gilbert, which we call Carrollton Park, Coochie Burns. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I had a pretty dope, my family stayed on the street, same street, so it was pretty dope. You know what I mean? Pretty good upbringing, you feel me? Um, a lot of the D boys was on the immediate corner across the street from Big Time Tips, which is where bounce music was invented. Big Time Tips, which was called Ghost Town. The local promoter who booked all the rap concerts, that was his club. So he was able to bring like Run DMC and people like that to his club, let them chill, drink, do it, whatever. Kind of like a place to let them lax up and chill before going to the Superdome or wherever else, you know what I'm saying, to sing or wherever it was performing at. So I had a pretty good upbringing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good upbringing.
talk to us about bounce music because you said you actually come from four houses down from where it was invented, and a lot of people outside of New Orleans might not understand the impact of bounce music and what that music scene meant later on when all the rappers that the world started to love came out. So talk about bounce music a little bit and what it actually means to New Orleans.
Bounce music is started off as using drag rap by a group called the Showboys, taking some loops and taking break beats loops within those songs, instrumentation parts, and running them back. And TT Tucker will get on the mic, and DJ Irv was running those loops back, and you was chanting, you know, kind of like stuff that was on your mind, stuff that you've been oppressed over, things that you just, you know, you wouldn't have in that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? You know, fuck the police, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck David Duke, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, you know, and then he hit him with the infamous three words, where he at, where he at, where he at, where he at, where he at. And it took over, it was infectious, you know what I'm saying? Um, that music is very, very distinctive and super unique and is huge for the culture because it's no different than going to a city and everyone's a fan of a football team. You know what I'm saying? Like if you went to Philadelphia, you'd be crazy not to be aware of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
The bounce music is big like that in not only my city, but to the rest of the world. People like Drake, Chris Brown, just to name a couple, excuse me, have adapted this music to their regiment now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that beat. That beat gonna make the party move, gonna make the girls want to dance. You know what I'm saying? It's like some underneath undertone recipe that would definitely get somebody ass moving. You feel me? And we always want to see the girls dance. You always want to see, you know what I'm saying, the D-boys or the players, you know what I'm saying, the 8-ball jackets in the club, you know what I'm saying, booting up, you know what I'm saying, to this music. So that's the culture I'm from, bounce music. And it would be not so much really similar, but it would be uh, just as just as pungent as go-go music is to DC.
Or Miami bass music. So like,
Yeah, Miami-based music as well. Yeah, yeah, correct.
yeah. So with bounce being so big, is that what made you want to get into music? Like from listening to your music, I know you have a brother. Was he instrumental in music? Like how did you make it to say like I want to do music?
Well, bounce music didn't make me want to do necessarily made me want to do music. It almost, believe it or not, it shit was a hindrance because if you didn't do that, the people wouldn't listen to you.
Okay.
So it made it. It was a hindrance at one time, which ended up being a blessing because I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Um, so we go to parties and the beat, the bounce beat to come on, and if you wanted to get on the mic, you know, to grab people's attention, your ass had to jump on one of the bounce beats. You
Yeah.
hear me? Your extra rapping ass get up here on the party. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear all that hip hop shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, people want that bounce beat, and you know, you get on there, you might wreck it. You know, the girls might like you. Some of the players might, you know what I'm saying, nod you off like, homie, rip that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that was a whole scene. We had real, of course, what we consider like real hip hop artists and stuff. But that was heavy in the scene because it stayed off in the club.
Now a lot of people know you from No Limit, but like we was discussing, you actually had a record out. Your debut album was before No Limit. Kind of talk about how you got with that label because me and my brother, we like studied rap music. We studied it
Mm,
by region and we got to know about the artists. The Murder Dog magazine was very influential in that.
for sure.
But before the Murder Dog, we would hear about these artists like, oh, this person coming up, they gonna be the next. And before it was a No Limit and Cash Money per se, it was another record label from New Orleans what could have potentially been as big as them. And you were a part of that too, right?
Yeah, Big Boy Records was a label I got the opportunity to do something on. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up just doing my thing with that. I was working with some guys independently. You know what I'm saying? I was working with some guys independently. But it just, I don't know if it wasn't moving fast enough for me or what. You know what I'm saying? But I was working with some real good people. But I ended up doing an intro for a radio station, Q93. And these cats I was working with produced a little beat for me. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up doing a little something like an intro for the radio station. You know what I'm saying? You do a little intro for the radio station talking about, yo, this is such and such, and you're listening to this, then you talk about the DJ of the city. You know, you do a little rap thing as an intro. So I did that, and I ended the intro of the thing for Q93 for Wild Wayne, saying you couldn't define me, want a diamond, nor could you find me, but I'm free like the wind, so who want to sign me? And that was like saying, like, I guess that was like a calling card of saying, do you want to sign me? If anybody want to sign me as an artist, you know what I'm saying? And show as it was, I recorded it like on Tuesday. They played it like a Wednesday, and they played it again Thursday. By Friday, I was signed in the studio recording the Baddest and Melfa live at I think Sound Service Studios in the East.
That's
And
dope.
that's dope. And that was Big Boy Records. And you went on to release your debut album, I Won't Be Denied. And that was in 1995. How old are you in 1995 when you're getting ready to release your debut album?
I had to be 18. I had to be 18, according to what month of the year it was, but I had to be at least 18. Freshly graduated from high school, Walter L. Corn. You hear me? Shout out to all my Corn Hornets in the building. You feel me? 3520 Drive Street, Uptown. You hear me? And yeah, man, it happened so fast. You know, it really, really happened so fast. And I put a single out. Next thing there was on the box. I shot a little video, and everything changed. I had, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was the birth of Fiend as far as the public on that level. I'd already was, here and there rapping on this and that. You know, I had some local guys on the label by the name of Holly Grow Records who gave me an opportunity to be heard once my brother passed away. Felt like my neighborhood, it was like, my village kind of like took me under the arm and kind of kept me safe and kept me away from bullshit and almost nurtured me, man. Like, not almost, they nurtured me and rooted for me. And my brother had so much respect. My dad, my family. I think people just really just looked out for me. It was a big blessing and just made it to when, you know, um, the opportunities, if they was there and I was prepared, it was gonna go. I remember this girl my brother was dating. Her name's Tam, and that was what we considered his first love. You know what I mean? When he passed away, she took me to Baton Rouge, to LSU, just to get me out the neighborhood and change my environment up. You know what I'm saying? And it was so valuable and so vital for me. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily, drifted on into some shit, which that could have happened because I was quiet amongst shit that I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And but I had a lot of motivation and I had a lot of determination to make it in the industry. Um, for my brother wanting to see me make it in the music business,
Yeah.
it was really on my mind. Like, man, I better make it. You know what I'm saying? I better make it. And I took that, man. And for what it's worth, I guess I did that. You know what I'm saying? I guess I did that. You know what I mean? By the time I got to the No Limit and, Drop Dead on their family, street life and stuff like that.
So what was the with Big Boy, was it just a one off and then you were a free agent, or you just said like with the,
Nah, nah, man. God bless his soul, but me and the label just didn't see eye to eye on some things, and then it got personal, and then it's just everybody didn't know. Men just didn't know to talk. There'd be more egos. You know what I'm saying? There'd be more egos. I remember me and the CEO just not seeing eye to eye about something, and we had to figure that out as men. And funniest shit ever. we didn't see eye to eye, and so I kind of like was stayed where I was at, and I was just, I had a single out, but I started working on an album, maybe one song, and we stopped because me and the CEO just wasn't seeing eye to eye like talking about it. Man, this is the funniest shit ever. I don't know if it's true. It's messed up, but it probably is true, but it never came out right. But these dudes, from what I heard, that once I kind of like took my sabbatical, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? These cats had recorded the rest of my album filled with songs dissing me on my album.
That's
That's
crazy. That's the
crazy. Yeah.
exclusive, home of the exclusive.
Hey,
So
nah, it's all love.
yeah,
Every artist that was over there, you know what I'm saying? It's totally all love. And that could be completely false. But for the fact that it was a rumor to be, I thought it was the funniest shit, the most low down shit a person could do looking to defamate your character. Like,
Right.
and you imagine you going to get my album and
And it's
and
all
you
diss
and
records against you.
all of this songs about me on my album.
Yeah.
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
crazy.
Did you
Yeah.
had a chance to work with Precise while you was over at Big Boy?
Oh, of course, man. Precise, co-produced, um, Won't Be Denied. He ended up, I'm gonna say he produced it. He also worked with a guitarist by the name of David Falk. So I don't want to undermine David production involvement. But yeah, DJ Precise, young Leroy Edwards, shout out to him and the Ghetto Twins. He produced the album Won't Be Denied. And that was a project with me inside of a crack pipe. You know what I'm saying? Fiend Won't Be Denied. And he did pretty good. It was different. You know what I'm saying? It was different. It's just crazy, bro. Like, it's just crazy. I was talking to Cujo the other day, like I was on this label, but I was working with some buddies, Jeff B, Wild Wayne, Slab One, Wellington, Sean, the Wolf Pack, my guys, the Wolf Pack. And they were working at the radio station and they were street teams, all kind of stuff, right? So everything new that came out, I had it.
Yeah.
So I was able to be ahead of the game and up to the pulse of what's the newest stuff before it came out, months before it came out. And if I liked instrumentals and stuff, like I was able to write to it. If I wasn't getting the beats I thought I wanted. So, I had little my own little magic here and there without knowing, a little nice little regimen going on. You know what I'm saying? That kept me just, man, into the thick of it. I think that made me all little type of things that made the recipe dope of myself that made me become the artist that I was. I am.
So at this time, when you take your sabbatical from being on Big Boy, what's happening in the city with the music? Because everybody know artists never stop being artists. Fiend never stopped writing when you took your sabbatical. So what's happening in New Orleans at this time with the music? Because in just a couple more years, hey man, you that guy. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, I had I was working with a cousin by the name of Baby T, aka DJ Lil Daddy. And he introduced me to some guys that possibly wanted to work with me transitioning if things didn't work out with Big Boy Records. Um, so what happened was I was writing and stuff, but I wasn't putting out any music but I was definitely writing and, just really worried about the situation. I am engulfed in music industry as a young kid now, 18, 19 years of age or whatever. So I didn't want to be like, okay, I'm not on that label no more with these people. So I was saying, if we could figure out something, I'm gonna need a release. It just so happened that the friend that was introduced to me through my cousin ended up being a good friend, and he ended up talking with the CEO over at Big Boy, and they worked out something. So I got a signed release to leave Big Boy Records.
Yeah.
And I just moved on from there. I got in the studio. I was working with Ice Mike, DJ Ice Mike. That boy was so cold on production, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ice Mike. And I remember, dude, he brought all his equipment to my mama's house, and I was working in my bedroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit used to be so dope to me, bro. That's
Yeah.
probably why I started learning how to produce. I remember I made a beat on his EPS Sonic 16 Plus, and I couldn't believe how cool it was.
Yeah.
But I lost it, of course.
Yeah.
Lost the
But
beat.
that's when you discovered like, oh, I can make this. I can produce also, huh?
I just got a whiff of it. If I knew how to work the machines, I probably could, and eventually that happened. Then I really became a student of Beats by the Pound. But I was working with him on some unique stuff, man. And my buddy was he believed in me, so he was assisting me on buying tracks and stuff like that. And so I went to working, and that stuff never came out. We was recording, and writing, and recording, but I didn't put it out. You know what I'm saying? So out of nowhere, I was working with Cain and Abel when they went by the name of Double Vision. I got with them when they was at Xavier University. They came down from New York. I met them through a real good friend, and we just hooked up and we just kind of click clack. We just was, you know what I'm saying? We was. I mean,
You know why, man? Because it's easy for real niggas to connect with twins, man. We twins and we connect with real niggas all the time. You hear me?
straight up, bro. Like I promise. My mom's a twin. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
that's dope.
I,
That's dope.
I really got along, and we just had an awesome time, and we just really had each other's back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like never before, bro. Like never before, bro. Shout out to Cain and Abel.
Do
Shout
you still have a relationship with the twins to this day?
Yeah, we good. We don't talk every day, but yeah, we good. You know what I'm saying? We good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're more in they've been in the movie, I think the film thing, like more behind the scenes, underground, like for the longest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, they won an Emmy a couple years ago for a TV series they got on one of them streaming apps. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I gotta tap into that. I don't know how I missed that. I gotta make sure we got a mutual buddy, and he sometimes work, I think, on like some of the sets sometime when they have something going on. You
Okay,
know?
cool, cool.
Yeah.
So now that you're recording all these records, you hook up with Cain and Abel while they was Double Vision, and so this got to be like what around '96 because you just exit from Big Boy. So before you so while you're recording this music, you don't know that you're not gonna put it out. What's your plan once you hook up with the twins and y'all start working together?
I want to help, like trying to write, and then they'll feature me on something. And shout out to Grizz. They was working with this producer named Grizz from Houston, and they had some executive producers, two CPAs, two certified accountants that was invested into Canada with Double Vision. And they was like, "Look, man, come over to the East. This shit used to be dope, man. We go to the East over. This is a young black CPA. Pretty much in a mansion. You know what I'm saying? And we working in the garage, recording. That shit was just dope, man. Like he was that well invested in them to let them, come into the house. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was just dope, man. So we just was working, bro. And we was doing some joints, and then I believe the twins had got somehow introduced the No Limit thing, and they ended up figuring out a vibe on that. And they ended up doing a third party deal and ended up doing Cain and Abel Seven Sins. I think they might have put out a little EP. And so eventually they was doing that. We showed up to the video shoot. It's all love. To support that with the gangster fight and stuff. A lot of wild shit was going on, bro. We was really figuring our way, man. Nobody but God was with us. Just a lot of wild shit was going on, bro. We was all over the place. But we were like this though, bro. But we was all over the place, bro. Like, man, bro, like, bro, when young dudes don't have it figured out, you hear me? Like, bro, we was all over the place, bro. But we partied, we enjoyed ourselves, kept beautiful women around us, chilling, you know what I'm saying, recording. And then one day, Mia had told a buddy of ours by the name of Corey Bush that she wanted to get me and Mac on her album. And it felt like a mob meeting when you go meet like a you know what I'm saying? Real shit. It felt like a mob meeting when you go meet the mob boss's wife or something. Because she was like pushing a basket and swagman or some shit. And Corey got me and brought me over there, introduced me to her for the first time. And, we just hit it off from there. She was like, I want to get you and Mac on my album. I'm like, I'm honored. Me and Mac already knew each other, was already hanging. So I used to leave my job at the Gap warehouse on Canal Street, and Mac would be over across the street at this 2-story McDonald's, and I meet him upstairs and we just be catching up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody beating on the table, we running raps for each other. You know what I'm saying? That shit was dope. And we ended up getting with Mia though, man, and we knocked out a song with her, and then I think we also was while working with Cain and Abel. Then Mia put us all on something, Cain and Abel, Mac, and myself, if it's not the same song. And I think it was 5 hollow points or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing you know, KL started saying, we were cool. I met KL on Beats by the Pond. He's like, you can come out there to the studio with me, out there in Baton Rouge where the studio was. So I said, cool. I went out there, and I won't forget we was in Studio B. And if this was KL, how you seeing me, and he was on the drum like this here, P. Percy Miller came in and opened the door, and KL was like this here. What's up, P? And P looked at, what's up? He looked at him and what's up? Said, KL, let me holler at you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He ain't know me on some. I mean, we didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like personally. Must I mind you? My partner was in the Bay and came home, and we went to a concert with Master P, P, me and X and performing also. And I bought CDs and cassettes from P. He was selling his own stuff at his merch table. He was selling himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's all good. So he went in there in the P office, and they had he kind of arguing a little bit about saying like, you got a stranger. Who was this person you got around? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I felt that, you know what I mean? So I was in the room like, oh shit. And then eventually he came back and he was like, nah, bro, nah, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Now,
He
with the
said,
success, sorry not to cut you off, but
it's
with
all
the
good.
success that you had at Big Boy, was P familiar with you once he was introduced to you being Fiend?
Oh, yeah. Because everybody go to the record store, Peaches, Odyssey Records. I got another one I can't think of right now, but yeah, and people gonna tell you what's the hottest single, what's the latest this or whatever. So I'm quite sure he had heard of me, but it was for the fact that a person in his space, his
He don't know personally.
he don't know, yeah. So KL was like, man, it's all good, man. I was hearing KL saying, man, I think we could work with this dude, bro. I think we need this dude, right? So I was like, huh, bro. So me and I used to always take the rides with K out there. And then they got familiar with me a little bit. And then I had some people that wanted to see about if we could work with each other as a third party deal, because I was working with somebody, but I didn't sign with them. But we had an overstanding with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was around, and then the opportunity came about, and they was doing about a soundtrack. And then K was like, we're gonna work on something for the soundtrack. So we did Don't Fuck Around, you know what I'm saying? And K was like, this is a side note. To this day, bro, like him, Shorty Red, like they really, really want me to do what the stuff I've been my claim to fame. That texture, that vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's dope to me. But in that space, KL was like, but it's gotta be the hardest shit ever, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, like fucking well, right. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we doing the song and my people being like kind of blown away. They were like, huh, bro? And it was like, man, we could do business now. At first, it wasn't really nothing. It was
Yeah.
like, I keep on calling, but they ain't pick up. But when we did it, Don't Fuck Around, it was like, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like we got one right here.
they figured it out. They figured that shit out. They
Yeah.
figured that shit out. Then I came with a little bag because my people was like, "You dig? I want to see. I want to see you just go. I want to see. I think you're gonna be big in life." So walked up there, with $250,000, and like saying, "Shit, what you want to do?" And then the label was open minded. We figured that shit out. Put on Bout It in the on a Bout It soundtrack. Pete put the song like in the middle of the soundtrack somewhere, and then he put the song in the movie when he was in a crack house playing with a red beam on a gun. He
Yeah.
just cut like butter with the people, bro. That shit was like, bro, what the fuck, man, like, bro, like you talking about the timing, like the right place, right time, like, bro, like shit, dog. I'm talking about like shit. You know what I mean? Everything changed off of that one song.
So after you next thing you know, you get to release 2 albums on No Limit,
Yeah,
and both of them actually hit #1 on Billboard. Now,
yeah.
explain to the listeners and the viewers what that actually mean when you think about just a couple years ago, you was signed a big boy. Yeah, you signed a big boy. You 18 years old. You
Mhm.
promised yourself for your brother you go do this music, and you look up in less than 5 years, you got 2 #1 records. What's the feeling like to just still be New Orleans, still be who you are, and have those 2 #1 records in that short amount of time?
It's crazy. It's crazy. After we did it once, I mean, I wanted to do it again, but it's crazy. Like, you can't stop something that's preordained and waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what made it dope. Dropped this when they were family, May 5th, 1998. I had about 7 features or so on Ghetto D. So I think the people just was like, man, I don't know what the hell y'all doing over there, but you better give me a goddamn album from that dude. You know what I'm saying?
And,
And
and that's what I was about to say too. Like looking back, I think you were like the most featured No Limit artist on the records. Like, and you was coming with the heat. But I feel like Fiend is on every single record. He's showing up on 2 and 3 and 4 records on everybody album. So talk about that, because I feel like when you just told us you was in the studio that one day, like you never left that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying?
I never did, man. I remember when I first officially, okay, like I'm working here. I remember I stayed woke for 5 days straight. That got to be the nastiest feeling. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I stayed up for 5 days straight. I was sleeping. Like, after that sleep kicked in, after the 5, I laid down on the cushion, soundproof shit that be in the studio. I was I was just laying them shits on top of each other, just laying down. I got a movie and a TV series I'm putting together about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
I just found some amazing footage on recording in my studio right after No Limit, like 2001. Like
Yeah.
footage, I know people gonna be tripping, like really tripping. Me walking around negotiating on the phone like Puffy, like he was in his office on the phone and shit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you something crazy, right?
Mhm.
When No Limit, when Kane and Abel left Low Limit and y'all was on tour, y'all came to Detroit. You were the only artist on No Limit who was walking around with a camera, because I seen you. Because I remember the hotel y'all stayed at. Because my partner, his family had a family reunion, stayed at that hotel, so we was up there,
That's
and
crazy.
Fiend had his camera walking around, and some of that footage ended up being on
Can I burn?
Can I Burn. So talk about uh Can I Burn, but right before we get to Can I Burn, I wanted to talk about Street Life, because Street Life is one of the most underrated rap albums to this day. And you being an artist, you know that album underrated. That's actually my favorite project by you.
Thank you.
But talk about like the space you were in, because it went number one, but that kind of was the rocky period between No Limit, where people was kind of like, do we still fuck with No Limit? But that record was so solid. And how many features you have on that? None? One?
I had I think maybe three features maybe. No, I as artists, like in a group, I had maybe 4 features.
Yeah. I felt like
Oh,
sitting back watching your artistry, because you know there's one in every family, that was feature heavy. And when we got Street Life, I felt like, yo, he found himself as an artist on this. The beats was different, uh, but you only had one video, which was the Mr. Womp Womp, right? But
first artist to split two songs into a
to
video.
one video, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know I was gonna get. I didn't know if I was gonna get another video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember that, and I just was like, I feel like this record ain't get the promotion it needed, because
It didn't.
this record, Fiend, found itself. So like, kind of where were you at in that point in your life? Because the next record we hear you after that would be Cannot Burn, and that was very independent of like on an independent level,
Super independent.
right? And that's what I'm saying. Like the Murder Dog kept us abreast with you, because at the
Right.
Street Life, it was like, yo, we're Fiend it. You feel
What
me?
happened was like Street Life was the first album that was ever turned in at No Limit. Like, here, put this out.
Yeah.
You know, Beats by the Pound and myself executive produced that. And I had just come from Europe with Snoop Dogg on a tour. And I just, I seen the world differently. I wanted to strip myself of the jewelry. I wanted to strip myself of things because I saw the world was a ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And I think that affected the project. I remember the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington, and I liked it. I liked the thought of just this spirit touching people, and the spirit is in that body. Then it was just a real deep little movie. So I emulated that as my album cover for Street Life, and I put a sword through my name because I'm from a very, very barbaric place. You know what I'm saying? From a very, very violent, barbaric place. So I felt as a man, a sword was a more hand-to-hand combat, and that's how I felt. I had some type of moral about if I had to do something, you know, young, but this was my thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I want the sword through my name. It's gonna be Street Life. And the project was just my life, my brother's life, you know what I'm saying? The Rock Show, Heart of a Ghetto Boy, you know what I'm
That's it
saying?
Oh,
right there.
okay, that's it right there. So one of the most thought-provoking lines ever spit for real is, "Why the lion need courage if he already had heart?" And when you, because we was young listening to that, and that struck a chord with us, because why did he need the courage? He got the heart to go do whatever. So like when you saying stuff like that, you could tell that you had a broader view of the world. So both of those go number one. It's time to move on. You going fully independent, but before that, in between that, it was something special that happened that a lot of people might have didn't catch. So we wanted to talk to you about that and go from that
No,
small period.
that was a special album. It was a special album. You know what I mean? Like a very, very special album. It almost ain't came out. You hear me? But it was a very special album. I'm happy we was able to put it out. I appreciate Beats by the Pound sacrificing because they was in negotiations with No Limit, and they didn't have to turn in that project. I remember turning in that project, and I remember that the execs wanted me to get with this other producer in LA. He was from the city, but like go record some more. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm not recording no more. My album done.
Right. That's it right here.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't mean no disrespect, but my shit done. I'm not doing nothing, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit perfect, nigga. 17 fucking songs, motherfucking neighborhood 17 wall, nigga. This shit speaking something in my heart right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
dope.
I wasn't malicious. I just was like, I was like, I had to stand on something, even when I didn't know I was standing on something, bro. Because I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I just was like, man, my shit done, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I remember that Carlos Stevens and the engineer in LA was just open minded. So picture, I'm up here, I'm so one track minded before I could be really broad and on it. I said, give me the drum machine. I ain't even producing fully yet. I said, give me the drum machine. I'm gonna make some shit. I ain't letting nobody. I'm gonna make some shit. I get on the drum machine, making some shit. They're meeting my means. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting ready to turn this album. You know what I'm saying? We're going for another #1.
Yeah.
My budget open. Man, do you know I'm making a beat on a 2000 or whatever, and the guy turned the SSL board. I think Los was getting ready to play some tracks, and as he was getting ready to play something, the SSL board just powered off.
That mean it wasn't supposed
I
to
said,
happen.
I told you, my shit done. I told you, my shit done, bro. My shit
Yeah,
done, bro.
yeah.
Shit done. So I ended up going to the next room, like Studio B, and said, let me play the album for y'all first. Let me play it for you, and then you just hear it for yourself. So I got an engineer and Los. Carlos who went in the studio. I remember I sat in the back, like if I'm sitting right here in the back, and I need over there by the board. I remember I lit a candle to him, turn the lights out. I lit a candle in the corner where I was at, turn the lights out. Played the album, bro. By the time I got to the end of the album, Carlos looked at me and said, yeah, bro, your album done, bro. Shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that was that. I'm gonna tell you one thing Pete did. He cut the intro of the album down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was smart. You know, that one little something he did, you know, I thought that was dope. I thought it ended up being way, way more dope. And man, I'm so happy we put that project out, bro. Because I felt like the rock show was, I'm quite sure everybody got their own version of when they did something, but I like to pitch in my hat too, saying that I was present too on the day when trap music was invented. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. We can take that and accept that.
Mhm.
So Can I Burn? That was you being independent. Now, did Can I Burn lead to this right here? Or did that lead you to do Can I Burn? You see what that is?
Yeah, for sure. Double R.
Yeah. I got this
Yeah,
from Y.
yeah, that's my guy, bro.
Yeah.
That's my guy, Wadeen. That's a motherfucker stand-up guy, bro.
Yeah. He is. Yeah, we met him before. He gave we've been to the studio up there in Yonkers and everything.
Yeah,
When they was doing
powerhouse.
the distribution stuff, we was kind of trying to work it out and see if it made sense for us. But when you went to Rough Riders, to me that was like when Charles Barkley left Philadelphia. Like I didn't even know that somebody from New Orleans would go up there. And when you produced that song for Jadakiss, I was like, oh, he a different type of animal.
Say,
You feel
bro,
what I'm saying?
say, bro, I could not, I couldn't even contain this shit, bro. Like, I played that shit over the phone for them. Loud as fuck, dog. Like, they could make that shit out of dog. You hear me? They was in a conference room, and they always listening. They let me play that shit loud as fuck
Yeah,
over the phone. And they was like, "Come on out here." I said, "I got something for Jadakiss." You heard me? I got something. This shit hard as fuck. You heard me? Man, I went out there with my Rolling 1680
yeah,
and went out there and separated that shit to 2-inch reel and produced on an album with along the signs likes of fucking Timbaland. You heard me? Dr. Dre, Scott Storch, and Fiend, nigga.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard me? Swiss
That
Beats.
that shit was hard. Like niggas couldn't even believe it. Niggas wasn't sure if that was the Fiend from No Limit or a nigga producing who calling himself Fiend. That's how hard that shit was. It confused niggas. You feel what I'm saying?
Bruh. That boy Kid said, yo, B, you know how to work that shit? I said, yeah, my nigga. He like, oh my God. He reached me a couple sacks of some haze and said, welcome to Rough Rider, man. It's good to meet you, man.
Yeah.
And we just was locked in ever since, bro.
So but it was some more legendary shit you was a part of, man. with that boy Paul and that boy Juicy, the Head Busters. Talk about that, because like my brother right there, that's his favorite collective. You know, like people ain't
Yeah,
nobody
bosses.
fucking with them with Hypnotized Minds. You know what I'm saying? Like they a staple in this shit. Like that's undeniable. They still getting sampled to this day from shit that they did in '97 that they still own. So that speak volumes about their business. But when we seen you with them, we said, oh, he's staying on this shit. Like, how did that relationship come about?
Yeah, we end up linking up. We always had a lot of respect for each other. I remember Mr. Servon was going to do a feature, swap a song out of something with 3-6. And Paul was on the phone. He said, "Man, let me holler at Fiend." So I walked out, got on the phone. Paul, my guy, that's my fucking brother. Him and Juice. Paul, my fucking dude, bro. Paul said, "Man, hey Fiend, man, what is it gonna take, man? Get you on the song, man. What, you know?" I said, he said, "Man, we ain't got money like P, man." You know what I'm saying? I said, I said, "So 50,000 too much?" He was like, "Damn, bro, come on, man. What the fuck, man?" I said, "Well, man, fuck it, man. Make it 25,000, bro. Fuck it." He like, "Come on, man. Shit, man. Come on, man. We ain't got this money like Pete, man." So we figured out something. And man, look, I used to like to be ready. A good soldier prepares for war during a time of peace. Boz used to always tell me that, and I used to always stick to me, you dig? So I go out there, me, KL, and Serve, drive to Memphis. I tell KL, make a beat, and I'm a write. So I wrote me a verse already.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I wrote me a verse already. And KL, I'm like, I got out there and we didn't use the beat. So I paid KL just to come out there. Right. So when I got broke off, I hit my guy off with some racks. Boom, 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 boom. KL like, bro. So I said, yeah. So he was like, bro, I was in and out. They gotta be the quickest money somebody had paid in a long time, bro. So I was like, boom. So he's like, man, fuck that, man. How much we pay you to get on a hook or something? We just gonna keep working, you hear me? So I remember that was a real good vibe up there. So that was the introduction of us working with each other on but you can't picture the pain. I whip you in vain with a young
Yeah.
nigga. My name was Dylan. You know what I'm saying? So we did that touch with you, feel me? And I spazzed out. Oh my God, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if I put my pistol, I'm gonna bust with it. You know, oh bro. Talking, bro, like, ooh, talking that shit, son. So I didn't see them in a while. And I remember me and my brother Moo went to the House of Blues. He said they gonna be there. We linked up. We was like, man, we should do a project together. To me, it was unheard of. I haven't heard nobody do nothing since the Crips and the Bloods, some shit come together, do a whole project together, you know?
Yeah.
So then he's like, yeah, man, we should do that. That'd be great. That'd be dope. I was like, bro. So we're gonna work on Monday. And Monday came, I ain't hear from nobody. Man, I showed up in Memphis on Tuesday. Real shit. I knew the code to get in the gate to the office and everything, dog. Like, I mean, out of love and respect, and just being anxious to work with some other great people. Man, Paul was so receptive, bro. So dope. So dope. He could have been like, man, what the fuck you doing in my yard, in my office? He could have been, he could have been like, he was like, bro, he like, dog, I love you, dog. He said, I got some beats in here right now. And they for our next 666 project. This shit going on a project that we about to work on right now, dog. I was like, what? He was like, for sure. Man, I knocked out 8 songs the first day. And to then, that shit was unheard of.
Right.
You
Right,
know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, a
So
collaborative
I'm
album.
talking about songs, not just rapping and saying anything. I'm talking about concepts, bro. 8
Yeah.
Right.
songs, right? Come back the next day, knock out the rest of them hoes. So now Paul and Juicy got to do is add their verses or add a chorus to the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my portion of the project was done in 2 days.
Yeah.
Dope,
But,
dope.
but then after that, you moved on to some more shit, which was when you it was of course it's stuff in between, but then when you hook up with Jet Life, so I look at Currency as the rapper from New Orleans who showed the world this another side of New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? We got the bounce, we got the flashes, the eras of No Limit, Cash Money, which was he was a part of both of them too. But when he got to be Jet Life Currency, it was all smooth, fly shit. You know what I'm saying? You put this on, you smoke weed, you hang with bad bitches, and you a part of that too. So talk
Facts.
about how y'all built your relationship.
I remember going to the studio session, and he would be in the studio, and my brother was managing him. I think he saw him managing me, and it made it easier for people to want what they saw was happening for me for themselves.
Yeah.
So he'd say, "Big homie, man, you mind getting on a song with me?" And I've never refused him. Yeah, you know what I mean. I ain't never said find another beat. It was a, you know, come back when you got a single, little homie. I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never, I just was, I just love the respect, and I used to see him around, and I get on it, And then I remember one day he told me, I had a bet with the homies, I can get you on some smooth shit. And you know what I'm saying, outside of what you're regularly doing. I was like, huh, bro, that's dope, man. And then we went working by Spin Spot in Sewsbury, and I get on something else, you know what I'm saying? Like he like, get on this joint right with me, you know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed that real humble times, real humbling times, real humbling times. He didn't even smoke then, you know what I'm saying? Um, he ain't even smoked then. By the time we got by Shrewsbury, he smoked then. But it was just dope. I used to love being around him, McMain, and Trademark, and just the little crew, little Al, you know what I'm saying? Like Keefe. I used to just love being around this next wave of guys that just they love hanging out with each other. And it was simple. It wasn't violent. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't all extra street edgy. I
It was
really,
just
really,
cool. We just cool,
it
having
was,
a good
it was
time.
just cool. It was cool. And I thoroughly enjoy that to this day about Jet Life fan base. I thoroughly enjoy it. And it gave me an open eye to wanting to let my hair down and evolve that much more. That's when I put out the Tennis Shoes and Tuxedos project.
Yeah.
And that was me going through something too, because I had just closed my father's eyes. He had passed away, and I wanted to celebrate and think of him of our times more than be depressed and be miserable. So I did Tennis Shoes and Tuxedos. I remember paying some wild money for the artwork, and my people being mad at me, man, why the fuck you pay this much for this artwork? And I remember showing that shit to Spitter, and I said, what you think about this, man? He said, how much you pay for this? He like, man, you like it? I said, yeah. He said, shit, that's all what count.
Then it's
And I
worth it.
like, yeah, all right, fuck it then. You know what I'm saying? Then I remember putting the project out and him getting on Love and Life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my
And
shit.
and I, and it just was refreshing, bro. Like I missed that about being creators, you know what I'm saying? Like someone being excited to get on a jam that they didn't know existed, and him coming in the studio, in the back studio, in the back of the we had a studio in the back of the house in the east. And he was like, Jones, he was like, dude, bro. I don't know what the fuck. See, he didn't hit a whole project yet. He
Yeah.
said, bro, I don't know what the fuck you got on this project, but my fans are calling me like some type of genius for discovering you or something, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Discovering you.
Yep. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. To this day, dog, like that space of reinventing, that space, that honesty, that sincereness, that is what I enjoyed. I couldn't put a dollar amount on it. It wasn't about we were up M's and things like it. Just was a space that I think it was a therapeutic time for me because, like I said, I wanted to celebrate. I want to celebrate, man. Just got me a got me a little coupe. You know what I'm saying? Done at Street Customs, and I was just, I was toning down, and I was traveling and touring, and these new fans was loving me, man. Like, and I was just shutting it down, bro. I was just, man, shit was just. I would hope any artist pursuing their career could tap into whatever that feeling was of knowing that you landing punches. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's still working after all of these years, after my first record, and it's a new fan base. I'm not even performing none of my old records. They don't even know those exist
Didn't even
unless
want to
they
perform that
real
shit.
fans
I didn't
and
want to even
supporters.
perform that shit. I didn't want to perform it. They'd have to ask me in St. Louis or somewhere, the dude who got that fire, Mr. Womp or some shit. They'd ask me, like,
So could you add this to? Could you make sure this on your set list?
man, Fendi would be like, bro, hold on, bro. Come on, dog. Come out here and do Mr. Wong for me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. Or come out here and do get the fuck out of my face off here, buzzes, bro. Like it do shit like that. And but I was crushing it with new music. And I had a new perspective, man. A new perspective. I remember I was in Lafayette and I thought somebody said something in the crowd, man. In my younger days, man, I jumped off the stage with thousands of people. I jumped off the stage looking for somebody who I thought said some shit during a
Right.
concert, dog. During a
Yeah.
concert, right? Not noticing me then compared to me being somewhere like Boston, Connecticut, somewhere, and I'm looking at some guys that are anxious to hear Spitter come on stage, but I am the guys that we the guys that's going on before. And I remember these two dudes in the crowd, bro, in the middle of this crowd. Two dudes, boo. So I'm looking right at them, dog. Right? So I said, man, stop the music, stop the music. And I said, you two, right here. I said, yeah, y'all two, I'm talking to y'all two. I said, bro, let me let you know something. You must don't know me, right? And that's cool. But from where I'm from, I don't know if you're saying boo or cool. So I'm gonna take it you're saying cool, and I'm gonna get back to my shit. So everybody laughed, the crowd laughed, they laughed. They were like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And I loved that. I loved that. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. I was not the same person carrying a chip on my shoulder about missed opportunities or me walking away from $6 million, behind over here. Just I just wasn't tormented with going to jail in New York and, being on probation for 3 years and, just can't do a lot of things. People constantly trying to steal money from you on shows. You're trying to book yourself for some shows and there's people trying to steal from your ass. People booking you for a fourth of what you're getting paid, a fifth of what you're getting paid just to get over on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never talked about this. I may have, but I had one dude came in town. Man, this dude was trying to pay me all kind of money to diss uh, Master Pete Percy Miller on a song he had.
That's crazy. This is the home of exclusives though. So if you ain't never talked about it nowhere, it's cool if you said it here.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I say I'll do a feature, but I ain't got nothing to say about him while we figuring out our differences contractually.
Right.
So I said, nah, that ain't where I'm at. If I hustle with you on Monday and you messed up the real money on Tuesday, I shouldn't want to, do you nothing if we attached to the hip hustling together. You feel me?
Right.
You know, he was my brother on Monday, not Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I was like, wow, bro. I remember going to some concerts, man, and dudes used to be, man, keep it real, bro. That dude, calling disrespectful names and stuff. I used to have to check them, let them know, like, we ain't doing that, man. We not about to be disrespectful, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know
Right.
everybody got their jokes here, never, nah, we ain't gonna disrespect them. Let's,
Right, right.
let's keep it respectful and it's all good. But
Right. I'm here to
that
do
was
music. I ain't here to hate on
yeah.
that, man. That ain't got because y'all business don't got nothing to do with them people. No way. What type of stuff is that? Like, why you
It's it's
want me to
it's
be
it,
mad or
it's a rule of thumb, when you're up, and and they love you, and one day they hate you, and they want to make sure that you got any chinks in your armor. They want to make sure that you're mortal instead of being immortal. So I get it. Come with the territory.
Right, right. So now, fast forward years later, you take all of those experiences and you launch a podcast, Who Got That Fire, and you come over to Digital Soapbox Media. And we would like to welcome you to Digital Soapbox Media because the Connected Experience is actually the longest running show on Digital Soapbox Media, right? We've been the longest running show on there, so we would
Nice.
personally like to welcome Who Got That Fire to Digital Soapbox Media. So let's
Thank
talk
you.
about the podcast and let's talk about where you see yourself going with it. Because I think you 16 episodes in. I watched I've probably seen all of them, but
Yeah.
more
Oh,
recently I seen the Bizarre one, which was a great one, and I also seen the Cujo Goody one, and that was great because you said something that really caught my attention when you were talking about your father. You said it took you a long time to realize that your father was a man before he ever was your father. And when you said that, so many more people need to look at life like that because by the time, like, I had my daughter and I was 35. So I had, by the time she got here, I was well into knowing who I was as a man for that time period. Now I have to become a father and adjust to a baby, to having to care about something. So when you touched on that, I knew I was going to ask you, how do you uh, balance the entertainment industry with being a father?
um, I love being a father. I love being a husband. I love being a son. You know, sometimes I probably gotta be. In some moments, I have to be a Holy Spirit. You feel
You
me?
know what? Like, I'm happy you said you love being a husband. That's one of my most favorite things to be. I've been married for 15 years
Dope.
to my current wife, and that's one of the best decisions I ever made, man. It made my life go flow so much smoother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of the best decisions I ever made. And a lot of people act like they don't want to do that because uh I mean, shit, some of the shit got to do with the music, some of the shit got to do with how they was raised. But like, hey man, being a husband and a father, it don't get no better than that.
You know what I think? I think just like everything else in the world, you know, we've been lied to about perspectives of things that involve growth.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a great assessment of the situation.
yeah, think about it like if you knew for real, to have a tutorial on how to be married, it'd probably be easier. And I
Definitely.
think the big the biggest trick that has been played on us is the trick of tricking us out of position.
Yeah.
And I think that um the whole ball and chain brainwashing thing is something that just have us scared. When I proposed, I was scared as shit. You know what I'm saying? Never been scared like that in my motherfucking life, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Why?
I had to,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, um, I don't know, man. I'm not knocking nobody out that's, you know, single and doing anything. I don't think that marriage is for everyone. I don't think being single is for everyone. I think being happy is
It's
for
for
everyone.
everybody. Yeah,
You know, I
cause
think being,
yeah, I'm married too. I just recently celebrated an anniversary, and being married made me a
congrats.
better person. I could say that, you know what I'm saying. And being a father made me a way better person. So I enjoy it myself too. So let's talk about the podcast. Who got that fire? We see the logo in the back. That's a dope logo. Tell us about what made you want to start the podcast.
Um, I got tired of radio people telling me they love to work with me and something don't go right. So I said I make my own radio station. I make my own TV show. I make my own place where I could be the voice and let the people tune in. And if my voice is this distinctive of what it's going to be, then here's a place for it. You know, like I got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And my buddy been told me to do this years ago. You know what I'm saying? But I mean years ago. Shout out to David Parks. But here we are today. Who got that fire? Abbreviated as WGDF. I'm looking to be a TV station, just like TBS or something eventually. You know what
That's
I mean?
dope. That's dope.
I want, thank you. I want to be able to bring a variety of different things that I think that people enjoy. I got a cooking show called That Yeah Cooking Show. We got Who Got That Fire. These are different TV shows, podcast things that you'll be able to find on WGDF. You know what I'm saying? And I got like I said, movies and documentaries. I'm working on Can I Burn Lost Footage, which is
Okay.
super interesting, bro. Oh my God, dog! Like, bro, I found an 8 millimeter tape the other day, and it's just my dad is filming the whole time. It's me, Mystical and Magic, in my studio recording. This is the first time artists getting a chance to record themselves, and from No Limit, like we just had the engineer and that, but to have my own spot, and this is where we found ourselves at. You feel me? When nobody knew where we was at.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, this shit. I got Tim Smooth on there. He was one of the greatest rappers in the world from where I'm from. That one of the first probably 3 people that got record deal from my city. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I just want to share just moment. They got me making beats then, bro. Like
Yeah.
2000, I'm making beats. Like you got Mystical rapping over my beat. As I'm trying to tell you, like we was gone. If we would have just stayed, we were gone, bro. We were
Yeah.
gone. We were gone, bro. Like the music I got recorded from us then is crazy. You know what I'm
And
saying?
yeah, and God bless the dead, man. Magic was one of my I like Magic projects too, man. That hurt me when I heard that he passed away. So yeah, God bless
True.
the dead. Rest in peace, Magic.
True. Yeah,
So
but that's
talk
what Who
about how
Got
you.
That Fire is. Who Got That Fire is a new podcast TV show. Didn't mean to cut you off, fam.
No, I was gonna say, how did you actually hook up with Norm Steele and Digital Soapbox Media?
Shout out to Ryan, man, from the DMV. He managed a few acts, a few different cooks and chefs and things. And he ended up linking me with Norm Young Steel. And we just hit it off, man. Hit it off, good brother. And he just was interested in seeing if he can assist me to get to the next level of not only the podcast world, TV show world, voiceovers, and everything that come with that. You know what I mean? So we're still in this thing of having motion to create this next level of what we're doing. I'm just grateful, man. You hear me? Look, me and wifey put this. My wife helped me build a set.
That's
You
Yeah,
dope.
know,
that's
you hear
dope.
me? That's where I'm at, bro. My music, where I'm at is different. Sometimes it feel alone. That's the sometimes it feel really solo dolo-ish, right? Because there's not a lot of people to be able to experience and share the thoughts that we all have as far as our 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 rite of passage of where we are right now, all 3 of us in real time.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of guys that can relate and still keep their cool in the midst of all this and still be who they are and be the person who that this other person that you share this household with and help accented you to be a better, you know what I'm saying? So, Snoop always gave me encouragement. I always had a chance to see him and his wife and be motivated. That was my first look of knowing I could be married or have a real relationship and still be an artist or be in the music business.
yeah,
So shout out to him and his family for giving me something to look at when they even probably know they was giving me something to look at.
Dope.
that's
Dope.
dope. So
So
tell the people where they can contact you, get the merch, because you got some merch out there, the Sleepy Bear, and listen to the podcast and view the cooking shows. You be on there cooking?
Man, sure as water wet and pig coochie pork.
Yeah, yeah. I do a little something in the kitchen. I ain't no chef. I'm a cook because I can follow a recipe.
Hey, my answer to most people is, do it look like I miss meals?
Right. Yeah.
You hear me?
yeah, yeah.
Hey, check us out, man. If you want to tap into the podcast, the show, you can either, if you're driving, if you're a truck driver, if you stay driving, I don't want nobody to get no accidents. Trying to look at it, you can always check it out on Anchor, which is available on Spotify and Tidal and all that stuff. Is Who Got That Fire podcast, right? And if you're on YouTube, you got a chance to watch it. You could do @WGDF, youtube.com/@WGDF. And that stands for Who Got That Fire. Or a show that dedicates to want to know what put the fire underneath your ass to get up and go get it. We'll put the fire underneath you to change your life. We'll put the fire underneath you where it got too hot so you had to change your life. You know what I'm saying? So this is where we are amongst a lot of other things. And the name of the cooking show is That Yeah. DAT, second word, yeah, YEA, cooking show. I got more episodes coming on that. But by all means, man, follow me on Twitter, Fiend for the Money, FIEND, the number 4, DA Money. You heard me? And you can also follow Who Got That Fire on Twitter. And you can also hit me on IG 504, which is I'm from the South. So I mean 0, but I'm saying 504 Fiend on Instagram. And travel with me, man. See what life is like. You heard me? If you know me from the No Limit days and Big Boy days and stuff like that, just imagine how I feel. Like, imagine if Tupac and Biggie was able to put music out today, what would it sound like? As far as I'm concerned, it would be mature, chill, whirly, and it would be like, something similar to what myself is doing, International Jones. Oh, and for those that don't know, I go by International Jones. I don't know how many albums, 20 plus albums you can go check out. If you've been a diehard fan, see what it's like to grow up, see a kid off of Edinburgh Block in 17 Ward to get a passport and find his value. And I found my value when I did street life. I was overseas. I saw my value and gave birth to Sleepy Eyes Jones, which is International Jones. And you can hear the music. It's growth. It's like listening to Louis Armstrong Horn of it rap. Like listening to the Never Brothers in the Trap. You feel me? So tap in with me. You know?
That's dope. That's dope.
If they want to find you, AJ, where can they find you at?
TCE Pod on Instagram and Twitter. TCE Pod on Instagram and Twitter. What about you?
They can find me at 1sljackson.com, and you can order your copy of the Animal Instinct, The Urban Jungle, which is the award-winning novella by myself. You could go to Amazon and type in The Adventures of Shelby Sunshine, which is the best-selling book series by me and my young daughter. And you can type in Justice for Nikisha, A Father's Pain, which is the recent true crime novel that I had a chance to write with Calvin Hawkins. And we reached the top 10 in the new releases in the true crime category because I am a best-selling award-winning author. That's one half of the Connected Experience. I'm
Nice.
Santuan.
I'm Antoine.
I want for my brother what I want for myself. Thank you, Fiend.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. God bless y'all, man. And y'all stay covered. And I mean, y'all family stay covered. You feel me? Y'all continue to get y'all blessings. You heard me? 1030 is your neighborhood hero, Jones. Jess.
Yep.